Hello everybody, it's Friday. That means it's time for another topic of the week. So, first things first, last week's topic, which was on the Gloomspite Gits. First off, very happy to see just how much positive reaction they've gotten over the past week, over the past weeks. It was great to review them this week. We're actually going to do a part 2 of that show. Overwhelming positive response. I think a lot of people love the goblins, the new trolls, the new squigs. It's just a fun army with fun new models. A lot of fun potential in modeling and in on the table and in everything. So I think most people are quite happy to see that. And that got me thinking about this week's topic, which is I love seeing old armies like that retouched and given new life. And certainly we could all talk about ones we hope happen, that happens to again. And that'll probably be, a lot of what we see for at least the next couple years. That is to say, there's plenty of sub-factions we can pull on or ideas we can kind of expand out. Things like that. But what I really want to know is, what do you want to see as a completely new army? And or what would you like to see introduced? Not an expansion of an existing thing. Not even like the Kharadron Overlords. Right? Those are new-ish. They kind of pull on Dwarven technology. Would you be interested in seeing completely new armies? Like the Idoneth Deepkin are pretty close. They're still elves. There was kind of a sea-themed group of elves previously, but this is like a totally different take on it. So, this is a gray line, admittedly. And I'll tell you, as I got thinking about that got me thinking about what I would want to see more than anything else. And that's a new peoples introduced into the Mortal Realms. What I mean by that is, when Idoneth Deepkin came out, probably the thing that was disappointing most to me, and maybe to a few other people, was that they were elves. Which is fine. I have no problem with that as sort of the story about it, right? That they were elves and that they were sort of fell down into the depths after being cast aside by Teclis and all that. Cool story. It's fine. It's just the Mortal Realms is so big and so expansive. I would love to see what we explore with new races or peoples or takes that are just so divergent and different. Like we had this vast, long age of chaos in a hyper magical world. The reality is, couldn't we have had like Deepkin were this race that were down at the bottom of the ocean and so adapted to it and became different? Take that idea to its logical conclusion, and you could see something that maybe at one time was a dwarf but is now completely different, or at one time was a human and is now completely different, or is something that we haven't seen before, totally unnative to anything we saw in the old world, and is now this completely new race. Was hidden in some corner and has now exploded out. The realms are so huge. They're just infinitely big, effectively, right? So we can find new stuff, and that's okay. I think that's the real value of them. There's no corners to this map, as it were. So that's what I would love to see. I don't even know exactly what it is that I'd want. I'm open to lots of suggestions and thoughts and ideas. There's all sorts of fun stuff you could do. But I would love to see something completely new that really put the stamp of the Mortal Realms down. A race not from traditional fantasy, not from the old world, completely birthed and bequeathed to the Mortal Realms. Something that captures them. That's my feeling. What would you want? What would you want to see in a totally new army? Do you want to see a new race? Do you want to see something, still using the old races, but just in a completely new version? Totally new concept. That's what I want to talk about this week. New army concepts for Age of Sigmar. Do you want to see them? What do you want to see? Drop it down in the comments, or as always, make a response video. If so, I'll link that down below. As always, you can find last week's video linked right down below, so you can go back and see all the responses to that. But I thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.